There's going to be nothing like the female loneliness epidemic that you're going to see with this generation of women when they hit the 40s. It's going to be out of control.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again, and today we are taking a look at modern women getting starved for attention from men. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments, and let's just jump right into the video.
Men are not like how they were when our parents were growing up. I grew up like the man is supposed to take care of the woman. The man is supposed to go up to the girls. Like the man is supposed to have drive and initiate everything. Like I feel like now it's so hard to find guys that like even just in general have drive in life. Like I feel like it's so different. When did this change? When did this change? Anyways, I just feel like there's no manly men.
That's because many modern women said manliness was toxic. I mean, what exactly were they expecting here?
Yeah, great. I'm glad you noticed. Because I kind of feel like that too when I look at your generation, and I wonder, if it maybe had something to do with feminists calling them toxic and telling them that women didn't need them. Just a thought. Maybe that had something to do with thinking maybe 60 years of these, kind of crones, these feminist crones telling men we don't need you anymore. We can make it on our own. We want, your positions. We want your jobs. We want to do what.
Feminists got literally everything that they wanted, and unsurprisingly, they are still bitter and miserable anyway.
You do, and then men started to say, okay, well, how about I dress up in a skirt and do what you do and call myself a woman?
Don't tell me not to live, just sit and putter.
You eliminated yourselves. You eliminated yourselves. Men didn't do that. Men were in line to support you, in line to take care of you, in line to show you how strong and competent they were. You told them you hated them. They went away. What do you expect? I have a suggestion. Dump the feminism. Dump the ideas. Don't echo the feminism. Announce by the way you dress, by the way you behave, by not cursing, by not piercing, by not tattooing, by wearing skirts and looking lovely and keeping yourself clean and neat and taking care of your body and not just giving it to any guy who comes along. Announce that feminism is over and it will end. It is in your power. This is in your power, and men will come running back.
The problem is, a lot of modern women will just demand the entire planet changes for them.
So here's a quick post, not a short story, a post that I could not resist covering, and you're going to see why. About a young gal who's 23 who is just completely baffled, puzzled why so many young guys aren't interested in them, in her, in dating, in relationships, walking away if you will, more focused on themselves, hanging out with their bros, their work, their purpose, all that. And is asking Reddit what's going on here. And for all you guys out there that have been watching me for a long time, you know the answer to that.
You cannot tell an entire group of men that you hate them and then think that they will stick around after that.
So I'm going to read through her thing here because I think it's always funny when a lot of gals who have caused men to walk away are upset that they don't have any dating options, no prospects, no victims, if you will. She says here, titled, 23-year-old female here, none of the men in my age group are dating. What is happening? Well, I'll respond to that in a moment. She says, I've known these men since high school. None of them are misogynistic, and all of them are well-educated and most likely.
Those men don't want to be seen as problematic. That's exactly what feminists asked for.
Liberal. Yet, they just aren't dating. From when they were in high school to college and now trying to begin a career. I'm also sure if they have a chance of getting a girlfriend, they would do it, yet they do not. My personal theory is they are scared of rejection, being seen as creeps, or maybe they think they aren't worth dating when I think they are. I think this is a big problem with Gen Z. We don't know how to date.
Even if those dudes were interested in dating, they are liberal, and women don't typically respect liberal men at all.
I'm fucking stressed out! I'm fucking stressed! We should not be working like this. I work my ass off and I can't even fucking pay bills, bro. And they always say don't compare yourself to others, but I see people going to Coachella and fucking like buying all types of shit, just pointless fuck you money, and I'm over here can't even fucking pay my fucking rent, bro.
This was the reality that we tried to warn modern women about. They didn't want to believe us.
Teenage girls right now, more than ever before, are starting to struggle more than teenage boys in modern America, particularly with mental health. So teenage girls are starting to see higher levels of anxiety, higher levels of depression, and in 2021, 1 in 3 teenage girls seriously considered taking their own, deleting themselves,
yeah.
unaliving themselves, because of the culture that we've created right now, which is so ironic, right? Like, wouldn't you think that this culture that's all about women doing whatever they want and women having any pathway to success that they want to embrace, we say that we live in this world, and at the same time, the next generation of women, Gen Z women, are so unbelievably miserable and unhappy and discontent in today's society that they don't even want to be here.
That's all feminism promotes at the end of the day: hate, bitterness, and all around just negativity.
I'm here to tell you that no matter how much a woman can say that she's independent, that she doesn't need a man, she does. Because there's moments in her life that she is feeling so fucking low and so down in this life that she wishes she had somebody to call. When she needs help, when the car is broken down, when there's something heavy that she can't pick up. Because a woman will never be as strong as a man. And we are both here to help each other grow and support one another. That is why we need one another.
She can get a therapist and hire a mover if it's that difficult. Men are not service providers like that.
All across America, marriage, sexuality, and relationships are on the steady decline among young people. According to a new Pew Research study, 63% of men age 18 to 29 report being single. What gives here, Aldo?
Well, you know, this breakdown that we're seeing of relationships is multifaceted, and there's so many factors to play to just talk about in one sitting. But what I talk about in this article is the way that social media and these dating apps are contributing to this. Yeah. And with these technological advancements, you would think that finding love, finding a relationship would be easier than ever.
That's impossible, since dating apps are designed to keep women single and addicted to them.
But what we're seeing is the opposite. The abundance of choices and this sense of constant availability is creating a situation where men always think that they have another option. And so when a red flag or something happens in a relationship that's otherwise going smoothly, young men are asking themselves, why would I do this when I have thousands of other options at my fingertips? And unfortunately, over 60% of Gen Z men are choosing the latter.
That's true for some men, but women will always have more options on the apps than men do.
Women are spiteful. I've heard guys talk about how they were accused of SA after they rejected a girl. And like there's one case in the US where a girl accused a guy of SA, and they kicked him out of the school. Even after footage came out of her pulling him in to kiss her at the bar, her pulling him back to the dorm and like clearly like flirting with him all over him all night, and then like he still got kicked out of the school, even with all that evidence and footage that came forward.
It's insane how even after a man proves an accusation is false, he will still get punished for it anyway.
Yeah. And she wasn't just accusing you of things, she's accusing a lot of other people of other stuff as well. But for you, you're 18 years old, you've done nothing to this woman, and suddenly you're faced with multiple rape and assault charges. What are you thinking?
I was disgusted. Like, I didn't know what was going on. I just felt horrified. I was scared. I didn't know. And then when I found out I was being sent to prison, I said to my mum, I'm not going to be coming out alive because I don't want to go to prison for even if I did do something. So why do I want to go if I'm not doing?
It's made so much worse when you are forced to go to jail for a crime that you did not even commit.
Something wrong.
You were put on the sex offenders wing of Preston Prison.
Yeah.
And you had to share a room with a paedophile.
Yeah, and he told me he pleaded guilty to that offence.
What was the offence?
He sent pictures to an 8-year-old kid.
What did you feel about having to share a cell with someone like that?
I felt sick, like physically sick. Like.
And you were there because the police had concluded that you must be guilty of similar behaviour.
Yeah, and I applied for bail numerous times. My legal team applied for bail I think 4 times, and I was denied it every single time.
This guy was forced to share a room with an absolute monster. That alone sounds like a horrible nightmare to me.
Time. And then I just got woke up one morning by the prison staff, and they said, you're in court. And I was confused because I didn't have any notice beforehand. And that's when I went to court and I got out on bail, but I wasn't allowed to go back to my hometown. I had to sign on the police station every 2 days.
And people in your hometown thought you were a rapist?
Yeah, I was named in the paper.
What did they do?
I had rapist spray painted on my house. I had my windows smashed. My mum had to move out of her house because...
This is the stigma that he's forced to live with for the rest of his life, and he did nothing wrong.
Because of it all.
And you spent 10 weeks in prison yourself.
Yeah.
So all this is going on, and you're completely innocent.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, everybody knows you. You're on the front page of the paper. You've been named. Your family's name has been completely decimated by this. But your accuser, who's made it all up, she remained anonymous.
Yeah, and this is one thing that really confuses me. Why did I get named? But when she was remanded into prison, there was never an article put, she was charged with this, that and the other. Well, there was, but there was no name given. It was just a female. And that's one thing I question a lot.
Even when she's found guilty, she's still treated with more dignity and respect than he was.
I had two guys call in. They work at DNA testing centers. One guy had to quit. One guy still works there. He told me 40% of the children are not the man's child.
I'm doing a documentary on the court system here in the UK, and I was interviewing this guy. He works for, it's called Fathers for Justice, and they help men get custody of their kids. And one thing I found out is in the UK, you are actually given a free counsel, which is a lawyer basically, if you accuse your husband of abuse. And what the women can do is they can accuse the guy of abuse, file a restraining order against him even if he did nothing. And if he breaks that, he actually goes to.
It's very demonic to me how the law is written in a way that is freely weaponized against innocent men.
Jail. And it can take 1 to 2 years to even get the kid back. So he could have a newborn and not see the kid for 2 years over a false allegation. So he told me this story of this guy who the mom accused him of touching the kid. And it destroyed his social life. He got let go from his job. And the man, he called the guy and said, I'm going to kill myself. And hung up. And he said, thank you for helping me. And I can't do this. I'm going to kill myself. And he shot himself in the head. Are the women held accountable for causing the men to do that over a false allegation?
The women will never be held accountable in these cases, I don't think. It is absolutely messed up.
Everyone's always like, why are Gen Z women so cooked? Why do they not want to go to church? Why do they not want to get married? Why do they not want to have kids? Look at who their influencers are. And influence literally means to lead. The women that they put on a pedestal, and honestly that culture has put on a pedestal, are possibly the most degenerate women ever. We have women like Alex Earl, Alex Cooper, Tana Mongeau, all the OnlyFans girls that have become lifestyle influencers in order to groom these young women into OnlyFans once they turn 18 because they see this lifestyle and they're like, oh my gosh, I have to have that.
They are told to embrace degeneracy and hedonism at an early age, and then they blame us afterwards.
These women and several others have literally built their entire platform and brand on being degenerate. They make tons of money from it. They have amazing lifestyles. They have tons of followers. So if a young Gen Z woman in her teens is not rooted in any sort of values or she has a bad family life, of course she's going to see that and say, oh yeah, that's how I need to be successful as a woman. That's how to make it as a woman. And listen, I would love to just post wellness and beauty content all day and live a peaceful life on the internet. But the devil really has a hold on young women right now in the West. And if we don't have virtuous young women coming in to be the new influencers and the new thought leaders, then Gen Z women are going to continuously keep going downhill.
What makes it worse is how traditionalism and modesty are seen as ugly and offensive.
I predict in the next 10 to 20 years, you are going to see a spike in females having mental instability problems because of all the attention they're getting thanks to Instagram. I've seen girls, right, like female celebrities, right, from like the 2000s, etc., they're all going crazy. Why? Because they hit the wall, they're not able to have the same sexual market presence they used to have 10, 15 years ago, etc., and they're famous. Here's the scary part.
The human brain was not designed to handle all of that internet attention. It's literally impossible.
There's girls right now that have not maybe Britney Spears level fame, but damn near close. Instagram model type chicks that have that same level of attention that they're getting, that Britney Spears was getting in the early 2000s, and there's a lot of them. So you're gonna see a bunch of chicks going crazy like Britney Spears because a lot of girls are getting Britney Spears level type attention today thanks to social media. So y'all are gonna see a bunch of girls acting crazy like that, bro.
We are already starting to see the instability. Just take a look at all the crash out videos on TikTok that we have.
1 in 4 American women is on antidepressant medication.
1 in 4 women are on antidepressant medication. That's kind of crazy. You know what you see as well is this kind of weird trend online, like hot girls take Xanax and, you know, hot girls take SSRIs. It's almost like celebrated now. And you see these, yeah, slay queen, you know, get on your antidepressants. And I'm all for people getting the help they need, make no mistake, but why is nobody asking the question that RFK Jr. is talking about?
In most cases, these antidepressants actually make things worse for a lot of these women.
But here, like, why is 1 in 4 women on antidepressants? Why is that a thing? That should not be a thing. If we were in a healthy society, I don't think 1 in 4 women need to get a prescription for an antidepressant drug. That does not seem normal.
Medications aren't designed to fix these problems. They are designed for maximum profitability.
I do get very triggered around going to my brother's at Christmas and all the kids being there, and I'm the only single person there, and I've started feeling, I mean, he doesn't know this, but I feel I can't help it, and it brings me shame. But like when I see his kids who have now got girlfriends and boyfriends, I feel such shame, and it's awful because I don't want to be that person. I want to be like proud auntie and the auntie that they all get on with, and but I get so sort of locked in my shame that I then don't become the best person in the room because I stop talking.
We are starting to see a lot more of this nowadays. These women regret choosing to be childless.
Who do you think is a female role model? That will tell me a lot about you.
I would say Beyonce.
See, here's the thing about Beyonce. She is probably one of the biggest con women ever. She tells y'all strong and independent. She tells you guys, all the single ladies, she tells you guys, I can have another you in a minute. But guess what happened? She went ahead and married Jay-Z, who has a higher net worth than her. And when he cheated on her, she ain't going fucking nowhere. And she's still with him. So she tells you and sells you the lie of feminism. Meanwhile, when it actually happened to her, she folded.
A lot of these women have no business being role models, but that will never actually stop them.
We are now in the female loneliness epidemic age. A lot of women live boring lives and are more lonely than you think. You might say, well, they have a lot of guys in their DMs all the time. But most, if not all of those guys in their DMs, they just want to have sex with them. And you might think, well, they tell the girls that they want to marry them and do this and do that. But guys will say anything just to get a bit of coochie, man. And the reason as to why there's a female loneliness epidemic is because of feminism. That scam turned women into the very men they wanted. Focus on yourself, bro. You ain't missing out on nothing. Hit that follow button for more tips.
Those women will never admit to the world how lonely they are. That's taking accountability.
There's going to be nothing like the female loneliness epidemic that you're going to see with this generation of women when they hit the 40s. It's going to be out of control.
Many years from now, there is going to be a quiet crisis, loneliness, in women especially. Not because women failed, not because they weren't capable or intelligent, but because they were handed a script or a blueprint that left out the consequences. Be self-sufficient, put your career first, you don't need a man. So they followed it.
There's nothing quiet about it. Many modern women are loudly crashing out about this as we speak.
They pushed love down the line. They delayed the family. They treated commitment like something that could always wait until it didn't. Fast forward a few years later. You're older, no partner, no children, no legacy, just some noise to fill that silence.
There's going to be nothing like the female loneliness epidemic that you're going to see with this generation of women when they hit the 40s. It's going to be out of control. When these 20-somethings hit 40-something, there's going to be massive devastation. There's going to be, the pharmaceutical companies are going to be like, yeah, cashing in on the antidepressants and all of that if they go that route.
That's what people don't realize. What is happening with women's loneliness is just the start of it, in my opinion. If you would like to get early access to videos, weekly lectures, and case study breakdowns of human behavior, make sure you check out the members area link below in the video description. Otherwise, make sure to click on one of these videos on screen now if you enjoyed. Make sure you take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.